everyone, it's Maya from WholesomeYum.com, and today I'm showing you how to make keto blueberry muffins. This is one of my favorite keto recipes. It's actually from my Easy Keto cookbook, and it's really popular on the blog. These muffins are moist, they're flavorful, they're sweet, you're gonna absolutely love them. And they take just 30 minutes to make. Let's do this. Let's talk about the ingredients you're going to need to make the best keto muffins so that they're perfect every time. The texture is really important in these muffins, so the ingredients you use are going to matter, but I'll walk you through all of it. First, you've got the almond flour. You can see this got a really fine consistency, and that's going to make a big difference in the end product. You're going to want to use super fine blanched almond flour. I use Wholesome Yum almond flour in all of my baked goods because I personally picked this out for the best consistency. What it's going to do is it's going to give you a really fine texture, a nice crumb in your muffins. You're really going to like it. If you use an almond meal, or sometimes some brands of almond flour, even if they're labeled as blanched, they're a little bit coarser, and that results in a more coarse, gritty texture in the muffins in the end. Next, we've got Besti. So Besti is the natural sweetener that we use in these muffins. Got it right here. Besti is a monk fruit allulose blend, and the allulose in there is what makes a huge difference. So unlike other sweeteners, allulose is not going to crystallize after you store the muffins. It's also going to make them super moist, which is something that's really nice in a muffin. Other dry ingredients we have here, we have a little bit of sea salt just to balance out the sweetness, and we've got baking powder. Make sure your baking powder is fresh so that it really helps to lift those muffins. And if you are gluten-free, then you'll want to check that your baking powder is gluten-free. Some brands are not, so just keep an eye out for that. Now moving on to the wet ingredients. So we've got almond milk. Be sure it's unsweetened. Sometimes they have added sugar, so watch out for that. You can also use a different type of milk if you prefer. So heavy cream will work, half and half if that fits into your macros, or coconut milk. Avoid dairy milk though, because that's going to have sugar in it. The lactose is sugar, and that's something we want to avoid if you want a keto muffin. So we've got eggs and a little bit of vanilla and butter. So I prefer to use butter in my muffins. I love the flavor that it gives them. If you want a dairy-free muffin, that's totally fine. You can just use coconut oil instead. You don't want to use other oils like olive oil or avocado. That's going to result in a different texture that we don't want. And then finally we have the add-ins. Blueberry muffins are the best. So we're adding blueberries, but feel free to change it up if you want. You can add sugar-free chocolate chips, chopped strawberries, raspberries, nuts, whatever you like in your muffin, totally fine. Either way, we're using 3/4 cup, so just make sure your add-ins add up to about that amount. Grab your muffin tin and line it with parchment paper liners. You can also use silicone liners if you like. I'll link the ones I used below. For our muffin batter, we'll add 2½ cups of almond flour, half a cup of Besti, 1½ teaspoons of baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. Then whisk it all together. I like to use a whisk to get rid of all the lumps. Melt 1/3 cup of butter or coconut oil and add it to the dry ingredients. Add 1/3 cup of unsweetened almond milk and half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Stir it all together until smooth. Next, we're going to add 3 eggs. You could whisk these separately in a small bowl, but I like to use just the same bowl. So we'll crack them right into the middle. Then we'll take a whisk and whisk the eggs together before mixing them in with the rest of the batter. Time for the best part, the add-ins. We're adding 3/4 cup of blueberries. I like to add most of them to the batter, but reserve just a little bit for topping the muffins after we put them into the muffin tin. Fold the blueberries into the batter. Spoon the batter into the muffin tin. You'll use about 1/3 cup of batter per muffin. It can help to use a little spatula to scoop the batter into the muffin tin. Now dot the tops with the remaining blueberries that you reserved earlier. Bake the muffins for 20 to 25 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Our keto muffins are ready. Just look at how golden and beautiful these are. The muffins are moist, the blueberries are juicy. These are perfect. I hope you'll make these keto muffins soon. If you do, be sure to leave a comment and snap a photo, post it with #WholesomeYum so that I can see it too. See you next time on Wholesome Yum, where I'll show you easy, healthy, and keto recipes, all with 10 ingredients.